You know what I'm actually going to do? I am going to insert a side-by-side and download the video clip of when I was 19 weeks with Rain versus 26 weeks now with this baby. I might even do the 26-week one if I have it. What's up, tribe? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me again. If you are new here, my name is Mariah and I'm on my pregnancy journey for rainbow baby number 2. So let's go ahead and get into this bump date. So this bump date is going to be covering weeks 25 and 26. I am currently 26 weeks. Real crazy to think that I am almost out of my second trimester. And also just the fact that I'm like 6.5 months now is just crazy. It feels like the time has just been flying by. But I left off in my last bump date telling you guys that I had an appointment. So I went to that appointment. That was my 25. I think it was technically supposed to be like my 24-week appointment, but really it was like at 25 weeks. Went to that appointment. Everything looks good with baby. We pretty much just chatted most of the time. We did do another ultrasound, so I don't actually have to go to any separate like radiology or anything like that. And most of my appointments, they do the ultrasounds in the same room that I'm put in, unless it's like an anatomy scan or an urgent issue. I will say this time though that my ultrasound was not the most comfortable. Obviously the hospital that I go to is a teaching style of hospital, so the person that I had that was doing the ultrasound was still, you know, learning some things, and then the MFM, not my normal MFM because she was away on leave at the time, but the MFM that I had instead, she was like kind of guiding him through how to take measurements and how to do all that type of stuff. So ultimately, like I said, it was not the most comfortable. I have a very active baby, so lots of them moving around. I think at one point they swatted at the wand because they weren't liking necessarily the pressure that they might have been feeling. And also this baby flips around a ton, so like there are certain points of times where I will have like feet up here or their head will be right here, and I can literally feel it just below the skin, which is kind of cool, kind of weird, and sometimes very uncomfortable. So other things we discussed at my appointment was switching from the Pepcid Tums regimen to a Prilosec regimen. Y'all already know I've been dealing with this acid reflux the entire pregnancy. So they were like, because you're like so far along and you're still dealing with the same exact thing and it's still bad, we want to go ahead and try Prilosec instead. So the Prilosec is like once a day. It's one pill. It's like a little capsule. And I think that that might work out better versus me trying to essentially chase the reflux by using the Pepcid and the Tums. So I've started on that. I'm also still taking my baby aspirin, so it's the 81 milligrams of aspirin along with the folate and the prenatal, and then I've also added Colace because just to keep me regular, it seems to help, and it also seems to help cut down on the, I guess, level of reflux or level of just feeling like gross in general by keeping things moving. Other than that, symptomatically, like none of my symptoms have really changed a whole lot. Obviously still have the reflux, still have some of the sciatic pain. I feel like that's more so coming and going. My biggest thing with that is just trying to stay as active as possible and doing lots of stretching and staying loose, which I feel like I run around behind the toddler all day, so that's not exactly the most difficult to do. The pregnancy insomnia has definitely kicked up, hence why I'm looking so freaking tired. It's definitely been pretty rough this last like week and a half. I have not slept great. I probably slept like pretty good like one night out of the last week and a half. It's not for lack of trying. I just get up and I am just feeling exhausted. Along with that, I have been having some cramping going on. I mean, it feels like premenstrual cramps, to be entirely honest. So it's nothing like super heavy or bad, but I do get that heavy uterus pain and then a little bit of mild cramping along with that. But other than that, everything's going pretty much great. Like I said, I have a little mover in here, so even now baby is constantly kicking and tossing and turning, which is great because that gives me like, I don't know, a sense of reassurance that everything's okay on like a day-to-day type of basis. I should have another appointment in about 3 to 4 weeks. I haven't scheduled it yet because normally I schedule it in an office after my appointment, but the scheduler was on lunch and I just honestly have been spacing calling her. But I'm gonna call, and I know that in the next 3 to 4 weeks I will have another follow-up appointment with another ultrasound. Also, when I go back, I am going to be getting my labs done again. So I am going to be having them check my iron for one, just to be on the safe side, just so that we have enough time for me to kind of catch up on iron if that is what is needed. And then I know I spoke to a few of you about this in my comments. It might not have been in my last bump date, but it might have been the one prior to it, about them going ahead and wanting to do another glucose glucose test. So it's not the 3-hour one, but I will need to repeat the 1-hour one because they just want it repeated once I'm in my 3rd trimester. That is their standard of practice there. And hopefully I will go ahead and pass that and won't have to do the 3-hour test. So I know previously I think I had mentioned like them wanting to also do the 3-hour test. I only have to do that if I don't pass my second 1-hour test. So those will be like the 2 main labs that I get done at my follow-up appointment. Granted, nothing comes up. Another thing I wanted to mention is that at my appointment, I did let them know that I had one day where I had some pretty severe leg swelling. I know that is one of the symptoms of preeclampsia. I also had like a headache, but I didn't have like the blurry vision or the feeling like faint or anything like that. And my blood pressure cuff was on the 1st floor, pretty far away from the 2nd floor. So I knew by jumping up, essentially that would change how the numbers came out. So I didn't get a chance to take my blood pressure, but I did tell them that like, you know, I have a blood pressure cuff at home. So if anything happens again that is the least bit similar to it, I'll go ahead and take my blood pressure and just kind of monitor that. They're probably going to want me to monitor it anyway, probably starting around somewhere around like 32-ish weeks. I did not have high blood pressure with Rain. He did come a little early, but I didn't have high blood pressure or anything like that. But even when I got towards the end of my pregnancy with him, I was going ahead and checking my blood pressure because they wanted me to, just to be on the safe side. Other than that, so y'all know how I told y'all that I wasn't going to get any like maternity clothes. I mean, at the time that's what I thought, but then I kind of changed my mind when this last swell of Ian hit and the weather just shifted completely. I went in my closet and I put on certain things and they just do not work. Even though like my belly is not like huge or anything like that, they're just not comfortable for me right now. So I did do a little bit of shopping, not so much like from maternity stores or anything like that, but I just kind of upsized on what I could upsize on, and then I did pick a few maternity pieces. So I'll be doing like in a separate video, I'll do a little mini maternity haul as far as what I got. But I honestly thought I was gonna get by without having to really buy much more or any more for this pregnancy. And just to be frank, like I already do a ton of laundry. I get tired of looking for the same comfort shorts or comfort pants. So I cracked, y'all. That's just to say that I cracked and I bought some stuff. Little update on gender reveal plans. So a lot of you have been talking to me in my comments about how you went team green and you did not regret it, and that it made like the laboring process or getting through the laboring process that much more exciting, or it motivated you to get through the laboring process. And I am still very much considering it. I'm still on the fence. I feel like I'm 50-50 at this point because I like the aspect of that, but at the same time I'm just like slightly unsure, mainly when it comes to like, I don't know, picking out names and stuff like that. But an update on that, if we don't decide to be team green, we just spoke to the contractor. Our work on the house is supposed to be resuming in about 2 weeks, so depending on how quickly this project gets finished up, we may just do something really small at the house instead. I know I originally said that we were probably going to go to an orchard, but between this hurricane Ian and the way this rain and the temperature has been fluctuating and changing so rapidly, and the fact that most of these orchards do not do rain dates for their events, I think it might just be a safer bet to try to do it at the house. Also, we're already in October, so that's another thing. Like, I'm not trying to push it past a certain point. We won't even be seeing family past a certain point, and Jeremy will probably be not going into the office anymore come December for that time period when people start getting like sick and traveling to visit family and having family visit them. Like, we are trying to completely minimize the threat of sickness coming into this household. So that's like another thing that is still I'm still working it out in the back of my mind, is timing, because unfortunately if we fall too late into the year, it's just not going to be feasible, because to me it's not worth getting sick. It's not worth me getting sick and the baby getting sick, or Rain getting sick, or Jeremy getting sick. In the household, we got lucky with COVID where he was sick and we didn't get it, but I personally want to minimize the amount of risk and exposure both Rain and this baby and myself while being pregnant have to getting any forms of sickness at all. If it happens, it happens, but we are going to do everything in our power to minimize it happening. In other news, I'm kind of needing some like nursery ideas and stuff like that because we are going to be revamping the nursery. We're doing a toddler and baby shared room or shared space, mainly because of the way our house is set up. The other bedrooms are just too far away from the master. Also, Rain is definitely showing signs of needing to be moved out of his crib. I thought we were going to make it into next year before that happened, but no, he definitely tried to climb out the crib. So we're gonna be moving him to a floor bed situation. The bed is not actually available right now, but we're still gonna go ahead and move his mattress for safety and start that transition, which, like I said, I didn't think I was gonna have to start doing that until come next year. So I definitely need like some ideas as to kind of like how to make that work for a toddler and a baby. The reason I'm saying a baby is because we're not moving. Our newborn will be in our room the same way Rain was for approximately the first 10 months. So we have like time to figure it out. We're not gonna move the crib out of the room. We're just gonna let it sit in there. That way Rain can be used to it still being in there, even though he's not sleeping in it. Excuse me. Whew. Oh my God. But yeah, I'm really needing to get those ideas together because I got a feeling that I would rather try to start kind of working on it slowly now versus waiting until like months after the baby's born, where I'm just really tired and don't have the motivation, so to speak, to make things happen. But yeah, if you guys could drop like some shared room nursery ideas, you can even do it in the form of like links if you comment and then hit like reply to your own comment and drop those links in there so that I can see them all. That would be super duper helpful. Okay, and last but not least, you know what you'll always look forward to in these videos, the bump shot. So as you guys can see, I am closer to, you know, the mid-end of my 26 weeks, but I'm actually finally getting my bump now, which is nice. I feel like I'm getting it a little bit later this time than I did with Rain. With Rain, I had a belly around 19 weeks, like a notable bump, and I feel like this time, like we're almost at the end of week 26, and this is finally when I feel like I have a truly like noticeable enclosed type of bump. It's getting a little bit rounder. It's definitely feeling larger as I'm getting in and out of bed or getting in and out of the tub. I definitely can feel the changes in my body, but it's nice to finally actually see those changes because I won't have those for, you know, but for a few more months at this point. Yeah, it'll be like 2.5 to 3 more months to where I will actually have this body situation going on. You know what I'm actually going to do? I am going to insert a side-by-side and download the video clip of when I was 19 weeks with Rain versus 26 weeks now with this baby. I might even do the 26 week one if I have it. So this is my cute little makeshift maternity outfit for in the house for today. It's giving. So we have me at 19 weeks pregnant with Rain versus 26 weeks pregnant with this baby. And then we have me at 27 weeks pregnant with Rain versus 26 weeks pregnant with this baby. That is the one thing I do love about the fact that I did these bump dates with Rain, is that I do have those belly shots. I would say kind of like for comparison, it's interesting to see, but not comparing it in the sense that like, oh, my belly should be bigger or smaller based on this being my second baby. But for sure, it's interesting to see because I felt like I was going to be so much larger with this second baby, and that's really like not so much the case. Well, that's all for this bump date, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did or have any questions, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. I will get back to you guys as quickly as I can. I've been getting a little bit better at responding faster on a weekly basis, so definitely let me know. And as always, I hope you all are having a wonderful and amazing week. Congrats to all the new mamas who have been reaching out to me to let me know that you guys have been getting pregnant. A special congrats to my TTC sister Emily, who just found out after years of infertility that she is now pregnant. And on the flip side of it, I also want to send like my prayers and deepest condolences to those of you who, you know, don't have your happy ending yet or are in the midst of going through a loss currently. I definitely am still thinking about you guys even while I'm doing these updates, and as I'm going through my pregnancies, you guys definitely still are in my thoughts and certainly are not forgotten about. But for everyone, I hope you are having an amazing and wonderful week. I hope all of you have stayed safe during this hurricane, and hopefully I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye.